everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly. This is where we talk about all of my current projects, and about 99.9% of the time it is knitting. Today it will be a whole lot of knitting and a little bit of natural dyeing. So first things first, today is Sunday, Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there watching. Hope you're all having a beautiful day. Here in Calgary, Alberta, where I am speaking to you from, it's a really nice spring day. It actually feels like summer. We've had some beautiful hot weather lately, and it feels like we kind of just went from winter straight into summer. Like it was like a week of spring and now we're full-blown summer, which I'm not complaining about. It feels really nice to get some sun, some fresh air, and to smell and feel the earth finally. So today, yeah, we've got a couple of finished objects that I can share with you, some that I've been talking about for quite some time, and then we've got some new projects, some new and exciting projects to talk about, and then a little bit of yarn acquisitions that have to do with some new projects as well. So let's get right into it. Okay, we'll start with my oldest whip that has turned into a finished object now, and those were the wildflower and honeycomb socks by this Handmade Life. I gave them to my mom this morning, so I don't have them with me, but I did take some nice photos, so I'll insert them here while I'm talking about them. I'm happy to report that they fit her perfectly. She absolutely loved them. She said she was going to cherish them forever, and I think it really made her day. So that was a highlight for me today. I used lichen and lace yarn in their sport sock, no, sorry, not sport sock, in their sock base, and it was the colorway Nutmeg. I did do a shorty version of this pattern just because it's summer and I know that my mom likes ankle socks the best. So these were my first non-vanilla socks that I've made. They were so fun. If you are thinking about branching out and getting away from vanilla socks and haven't tried anything new yet, I highly recommend this pattern. They will be linked down below. With everything else that I speak about today will be linked down below if you're interested in learning more or maybe knitting up the pattern yourself. So definitely recommend. I plan on making myself some as well in the near future once I'm done with a few exciting projects that I have to talk about today. And I actually won't talk about all of them, but I'll talk about two. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the socks, I started those, I believe it was like April 12th or April 13th, and then I finished them on May 12th, so almost exactly a month, and that was kind of working in between projects as well. And of course, Mother's Day gave me that last final push to just get those done, and I'm so glad I did. They're off the needles, they're with my mom, she absolutely loves them. I just hope she wears them because I have a feeling she's just going to really cherish them and want to look at them. But not necessarily wear them for fear of wearing them out. But that's what they're for, and I would be happy to make her another pair. Also, excuse my dirty fingernails and hands right now. I don't even know if you can see it, but I was just dyeing a whole bunch of things and some yarn, doing some natural dye, and completely stained my hands. So ignore that. Okay, enough about those socks because there's not a whole lot to say, and I've talked about them many times before, other than the fact that they're an amazing design, so fun to knit up, they're quick, and highly recommend. Next, we will go on to my first test knit that I've ever participated in. This is the Helianthus tank, designed by Andrea Gaughan, and I used Ritual Dyes yarn, their undying yarn in the colorway Slate. So here is the finished tank. This is a cotton linen blend, so it's really great for summer. I've worn it twice, I think, already on hot days, and it was perfect. I didn't feel too sweaty or too warm. It's breathable. The pattern is really, really great. It's pretty fast to knit up too, like relatively speaking, considering it is a fingering weight yarn. I don't know the exact day of when the pattern is coming out, but I'll be sure to put it all out there on my Instagram when the release date finally arrives. What else can I say? I did helical knitting for this when working in the round. First time doing helical knitting, which I spoke about a little bit in the last episode. And again, it was super, super easy. I don't know why I was intimidated with it before. I just did it because I was afraid of some obvious changes in skeins. Oh, I think I got food on this already. I do this every time with a new knit, I get food on it. But I really do like the color variations that you see in here. There are some lines, but it's not like a harsh, straight across line if I weren't to do any helical knitting. So I'm glad I did that. There is a half twisted rib on the bottom and then the arms and the neck. So it gives it a really pretty finished look. It's cropped and it's meant to have, I think, like 1 to 2 inches of negative ease, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. I did do a nice little like finished object photo shoot by myself. So I'll put some pictures up here to show how the tank looks while wearing it. It's also up on my Instagram, which is _Karlie_Paige_. I know, too many underscores. But if you want to check it out, and all of my projects I am now posting up on there too. But this one is just a really like simple statement, or not statement, a simple, what's the word? Staple. Summer wardrobe piece, I think. It's just, it pairs well with everything. I've worn it with a long skirt and some jeans. I've worn it with some like stretchy flowy pants, and it looks good with all of them. And this color, which I've spoken about many times before, I can't get enough of. It's bluey green slash gray. Sorry, I thought someone was here. Slash gray, and some nice little variations in color there. So I think, yeah, I just love this color. It's my first time using, what's the Ritual dyes. They're out of Portland, Oregon, and it's amazing. When I blocked this, it didn't seem to stretch too much, but with some wear, I found that it did stretch quite a bit. But I don't mind it, actually. I don't mind the fit at all. It just seemed to get like quite wide, but it was all right because the pattern was intended for some negative ease. So it's not like it got crazy, crazy big on me. It's just a little bit flowier now, but I like that. I don't like things too close to my skin, so it worked out perfectly. But highly recommend this pattern, highly recommend this yarn. It went by really quickly. There weren't any issues. It's just a nice staple piece, I think, to have in your wardrobe. And again, I think you could do lots of modifications to it and customize it. A lot of other test knitters are doing either contrasting ribbing and doing some stripes as well. So there's lots you could do. I'm sure you could even do some eyelets or other little like tiny details to it. But very, very excited to have completed my first test knit. Test knitting is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I had always been really, really intimidated by the thought of it. You know, everybody always has those thoughts of like, oh, am I good enough to do that? Or, you know, all of those thoughts. But it's not as scary as it seems, and you know, the designers, they want you to do well too, so they're there to help you along the way if you have any questions. And yeah, Andrea was really great and responsive, and just, yeah, it was a great experience for my first test knit. So very thankful to Andrea for letting me be a part of this test knit and this beautiful Helianthus tank. Again, keep your eye open for the release of that if you're interested in a nice summer tank. I'm sure the pattern will be out shortly as the test ends a week today. So next Sunday, the 21st, is the end of testing. So I'm assuming shortly after that, the pattern should be coming out. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that. And if you want to, you know, be, oh my God, one of those days, you know. Anyways, if you want to be really in the know about the pattern, give Andrea Gaughan a follow on Instagram, and I'm sure she'll post right when it's ready. Okay, let's get on to the next section, which is whips, and I've got one whip. This is one I haven't shown yet, and this is also a test knit. So funny enough, last episode I was saying how I would love to be a part of another test knit if anyone would have me, and then I got accepted to 3 more, and I'm not going to share all of them today, but I will share a couple. And the first one being this polo by Anemone, I believe it's pronounced Anemone Knit Design. And this is it so far. So it's a sleeveless polo, and as you can see now, everything's connected, good to go. I basically just have to knit in the round to the bottom until I'm pleased with the length, and then I have to do some nice little armhole ribbing to tidy up the edges, and then this one is done. Very, very excited about this because I used to have a sleeveless polo button-up shirt that I would wear at work, and I loved it. I thought it was really flattering, and I don't have it anymore. And so when I saw this Kneading Testers, I just thought this is something I need immediately. And when I saw it, I also knew the exact yarn that I wanted to use, and so I had this in my stash already because I had just purchased it, and I showed this along with my acquisitions in the last episode. But this is the Kakegori Noro in the colorway number 5, I believe. And number 5, Shimonoseki, I think is how it's pronounced. But it's 50% cotton, 30% silk, 10% viscose, and then 10% polyamide. So I got gauge with this, and it's using 4mm needles, and it is a 2x1 rib. And I'm just gonna bring this really close here so you can see the beautiful variation of colors in this. My favorite part about this yarn is the orange bits here. And I just think it's so like earthy and just like a grounding color. I also think that it will go with so many things in my wardrobe. It can just pull from any color. But this is a really interesting knit. It was something I've never done before. I felt like I really expanded my skills with this knit. It wasn't even that difficult. It was just like new techniques for me. So it was a new type of cast on where I forget what it's called, but you use 2 long circular needles and you use 2 needles to like cast on. Terrible explanation, but anyway. Yeah, and then you have, so it's basically like 2 layers here for the collar, and then 2 layers for the placket stitches here. And then you join them together. Here they are, and they're overlapped. Really nice detail. And yeah, it's like one of those knits where it's like just interesting enough to keep your attention, to keep wanting to go and get each like piece done, and you cannot wait to get knitting in the round. So I've been really enjoying this. I'm so happy that I'm joined all around now and can just do some mindless knitting on it of the 2x1 rib. I cannot wait to wear this. I'm hoping to get this done in the next couple of days because I do have a couple of other test knits that I need to get working on. And man, test knits have been great because they really hold you accountable to that deadline. And if you're looking to really, I don't know, get some pieces out quickly, test knitting is a great way to do that. So, and again, I've been wanting to do test knitting, but I didn't want to test knit just for the sake of test knitting. I wanted to do it for designs that I really loved, and I knew that would complement my other pieces in my wardrobe, and all of the ones that I've been speaking about and will speak about are items that I fell in love with right away. So there's not much else to say about this other than, yeah, I've never been so happy with a yarn choice, I think, for this pattern. Or for a pattern. It's really fun, and I already have like some earrings in mind that I cannot wait to wear this with. I cannot wait also to do some finished object photos of these. I kind of have an outfit and hairstyle in mind that I want to do, and a location too. So that's always really fun to do. I do photography on the side. So I love doing self-portraits and photo shoots and things like that. So that's another part of knitting that I really enjoy, is just taking the time to style your pieces and doing a nice little photo shoot out of them. And I think it's just a nice way to wrap up a project too. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the deadline for this is May 27th. So again, I'm not sure the exact day of when the pattern will be out, but already I can recommend this because I'm loving it. And again, the majority of it's done. All of the hard work's done. It's just knitting in the round now. And it's really, really cool, interesting construction. I think if you're a fan of like a collar and a sleeveless polo collar situation, I think this is a good way to go. Some of the testers too did a contrasting like collar and placket stitches and armhole ribbing. Sorry. And hair in my mouth. And that looked really cool as well. Yeah. Anyways, I'll probably be done this for the next episode. So hopefully I can be wearing it maybe and kind of show you my idea or what I envision to style this piece. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on this beauty right here. Okay, the next project that I haven't started yet, but I'm halfway through the swatch, is another test tee, and it's another test knit, and it's for Sari Nordlund. This is the Wood Anemone tee. It is, I'll put a picture of it up here. So it's a circular yoke with some lace detailing and just plain stockinette all the way down, and then some sleeves and some ribbing on the sleeves and the neck. I believe it's a folded collar for the neck. It suggests using a DK or a light worsted yarn. I believe I'm getting gauged based on my swatch so far, but I haven't blocked it yet. So that of course will affect the gauge, but I think so far I'm good. I went to my local yarn store yesterday and I chose Juniper Moon Zoe. It's a soft cotton linen blend, so 60% cotton, 40% linen. And so this is not exactly DK, but I am holding it double. So I think that this would maybe fall into like a worsted yarn, being it double, or when I hold it double. And I'm a very tight knitter, so I thought going on the heavier side would be good, then I could get proper gauge. And yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I really love this color. I have another top this color that I knit recently, but that's okay. It's a beautiful color, and I just thought it would be a good summer spring piece. It will be on the thicker side, so it'll probably be one of those pieces that I wear all year long and on cooler summer days too, which I'm totally fine with, but I'm just glad it's a cotton linen blend. I really, really love working with plant-based yarns more so than I do with wool. I just always have. And I love cotton, I love linen, I love the silks, I love all of that. I love doing it even in summertime, or obviously, I love doing that even in the winter and fall. So I think this will be a good all year long tee that I can wear. I haven't started it, so I can't really say much about it. It's due mid-June, so I do have some work to do, but it is like a thicker yarn, so it's knitting up. The swatch is knitting up really fast, and I believe that the top will too. I'm excited about it. I haven't done any Sari Nordlund patterns yet, and I've always wanted to try, so I think this will be cool. Another piece that I think I want to wear with some of my like faded jeans, faded high-waisted jeans, I think would look really pretty. And maybe these earrings. I wear these all the time now though. They go with everything. So that's another test knit. Again, all these test knits are keeping me very busy, which is good because it gives me some structure in my life, which is great. And I'm actually making like a schedule for all of my test knitting, and so far it's been working. Yeah, it's a great way to get a lot of stuff done. Okay, my next one is the Vine tee. And I forget the designer's name, but I will put it all up here. And she knit hers up in Sadness Garn Lena, which is, I think, like a worsted or heavier DK weighted yarn. So I went to the store yesterday and I got Cascade Yarns Pima. And this is 100% Pima cotton, and I have used this yarn before in like a lighter green, and I really, really loved using this yarn. For a cotton, it is so soft. It's very soft to work with. It like glides on the needles. It's silky almost, and it does have a shine to it. I don't know if you can tell. But I thought this would be really great to use if you've been watching if you had watched some of my previous videos. I had some mystery yarn that my partner brought back to me from Japan, and it's this right here, and I've got a bunch of these, and I've been really debating on what to use this with. So then I thought I'm going to pair these two together, I think, for this Vine tee. And I think the base of this is like almost an exact match for this. So along the way, I'm hoping you just see like little pops of color so that it's almost like a tweedy pastel fabric. I haven't swatched it yet. I'm hoping to swatch tonight or tomorrow or whenever, someday soon. And I cannot wait for that swatch because I'm just dying to see how this will look. How double. Oh my god. It's gonna be, I think, really like cotton candy-ish vibes and just really pretty. So I'm very excited about this test knit. Also because this designer is in Vancouver and she works at the Wet Coast Wools there, which is a yarn store that I really wanted to go to when I was in Vancouver last September, but it was closed when I tried to go or something. But anyways, I never made it out there. Next time I go to Vancouver, I'll hopefully go and stop by. But yeah, it's cool to support a Canadian designer and a smaller designer and kind of get their names out there. I also really liked this design. It's got a beautiful vine detailing on the raglan increases, and it also has a split hem. So there's a version to do non-split or split hem. I'm going to do the split hem version, and I just love the sleeves for it. It kind of seems like another perfect summer piece that I would love to have in my wardrobe. Again, this is something that I picture wearing with some nice high-waisted faded jeans, and this is due about mid-June. So the reason why I felt comfortable with these test knits is that they're not fingering weight yarns. They're thicker yarns, they go by faster, and oh, also for these, the minimum that you have to get done is the yoke and at least one sleeve, and then like a couple inches on the body. So yeah, that's not too bad. And again, I've got a lot of time on my hands lately, so it's really good. It keeps me busy, and it keeps my hands busy, keeps my mind active, which is something I really want and crave right now. Be involved in this wonderful knitting community, and it's really cool to be a part of. So I do have another test knit that I got accepted to, but I think I'll wait for another time to talk about that. I wanted to keep this episode relatively short, or on the shorter side, so I'll save that one for next time. That is all the knitting that I have to talk about, but as I just briefly speak about that, my partner's birthday is coming up on Tuesday, and he's a plant guy. He's in urban forestry, loves trees, loves plants, and so I thought that I was going to do some of them, and I dyed 4 of them this afternoon. I'll insert a little video here of the shirts drying outside as we speak, and I did 2 bundle dye styles. So that's where you just lay out your fabric, so the shirts, and you sprinkle all of your dyes or your flowers. I guess I was using all dried flowers for this. So you sprinkle all of the dried flowers on there, and then you just roll it up like from the bottom to the top. Then you turn that around and you roll it again, so then you have like a cinnamon bun, and you steam that. So I steam them for about 15 minutes on each side, and it just absorbs all of those beautiful colors from the flowers and all of those pigments. And then I let them sit and dry, and then I rinse them out with some cold water, and then I let them air dry. So they're air drying right now, and I've got 2 crazy bundle dye shirts that are just like really kaleidoscope like, and just like little dots everywhere of color, which look really cool. And then for the other 2, I did a dye bath, and I submerged them, the shirts, fully into a dye bath, and I did a tie-dye. So one is a bright yellow, and then one is kind of a really beautiful olive green, which is my favorite out of all 4 shirts, and I think that'll be his favorite as well. I kind of wish I did all of them in tie-dye, but it's nice to have some variation and some options there for him. The tie-dyes are so fun to do. I did the tie-dye with marigold for the bright yellow, and then for the green I did a mix of marigold and these purple hollyhocks. So yeah, that was really exciting to see. I thought it was going to turn out a little more on the brown side, but it came out fully olive green, which was exactly what I wanted, and I could not ask for a better color. I think green is also his favorite color, so yeah, I think he's going to be really happy and pleased with that. So that's coming up on Tuesday, so I'll let you all know how that goes when he opens them up, and if he likes them. I'm sure he will. I try and do all handmade gifts for my friends and family, so he hasn't received any eco-dyeing stuff from me yet, so I think he'll be really excited and pleased. And I know he loves to just like wear, or yeah, he just loves all of the handmade gifts I give him, so I think he's going to really appreciate this. I also have some yarn hanging up right now that I dyed with a mixture of marigold and gladiolus. And I want to call this colorway either Mariolus or Gladigold. Well, yeah, it's stupid, but it sounds cool. So those are drying right now, and once they're all dry and then in the skein twisted, you know, in a nice skein twist again, I'll share that with you all in the next episode. And that's kind of like a mossy, limey green. So it kind of turned out cool. I didn't know what I was getting, but it's so fun to experiment, and these are just going to be socks anyway, so I wasn't really too concerned about how the color would look. And yeah, you can kind of wear any color on your feet, so it's fun. But I think I'll end it there today. I'm a little tired. So I'm gonna get to some knitting and some eating. I hope you are all having a beautiful day, and yeah, I'll talk to you all next time. Bye!